let's tap in. Tap, tap, tap in. Waiting on Google for you to log in. Tap, tap, tap in. Forget COVID, let's work, kids. Tap in. Tap, tap, tap in. JM, that's the fam, let's tap in. Tap, tap, tap in. Back in September, year to remember. I'ma show you how to solve problems like a winner. Count on Desmos, work on your paper. You better learn these keystrokes, I need you to remember. New teacher of the year, but I'm no beginner. When I post work, all my students get better. SOLs killed them. Oh, you don't remember? I don't teach quitters, hope your dreams get bigger. Principal on my line, telling me it's high time. Ended up in Northside. This is your day job, schoolwork does not stop. You don't need a stopwatch. Better be ready to take these notes. Working real hard, can't wait to see your growth. Follow us on IG, don't forget the underscore. Class of 2021, it's time for you to soar. Miss Murray, principal.
Welcome back to another episode of the Randy Wilson Podcast. This is not just any episode. This is not even getting a number because this is an emergency podcast. This is a celebratory podcast. I am super excited today to have John Marshall High School's finest here. We have the principal, Miss Murray. We have Miss Kelley, a teacher, math chair, and we have the interventionist, Mr. Butler, who some of you all know as Big B that follow the podcast. This is Virginia's #1 podcast for hip hop culture and society, #1. And we have, a school that's been known for being #1 in a lot of things. Shout out to John Marshall High School. I really was a fan of John Marshall High School the year that Isaiah Todd and them guys took it to the state championship. So I am a big fan. I'm a big supporter of the school. But today we're putting focus on the fact that they have this music video that is popping. I mean, this is the coolest thing that I have seen in a long time because we have a principal here, Miss Mary, who's not only a phenomenal administrator, but she can rap. I mean, she can really rap. For students to have a principal, someone who's a model, someone who they can look up to, but someone relatable that they can actually, that can identify a rhythm and follow a beat and give you a bar. The most impressive thing I think I've seen ever, and I've worked in high school and school before, so I've seen a lot of things. Nothing quite like this. I would guess she's I can say she's the lead vocalist here, Miss Kelley, who we're gonna get into this a little bit later because when I first heard this video, I thought it was Nicole Hendricks. And that's nothing but a compliment because she is by far one of the best MCs in Richmond. And I'm not identifying her by gender. She is one of the best. So when I heard Miss Kelley rap, I was confused for a minute because I was like, is that Nikki? What's going on here? Like, this is crazy. And all y'all that follow me, particularly if you're in the Richmond area, you know Big B, because Big B has definitely been doing his things in all kind of ways. So impressed with the young man. I mean, I'm impressed with his lyrical skill set. I'm so appreciative that he made the phone call, let me know about this so I could be a part of it. He's just a phenomenal guy. I learned a little bit earlier before he got on the call today about his position. I'm happy to see that John Marshall has a position called an interventionist. If I'm saying it correctly, I think I am. I understand what an interventionist is. It's a person who implements themselves in circumstances to make sure things get addressed. And so I'm extremely appreciative of having him. This is a stand-up man. I have watched him make a complete physical life change. He's healthy. I just can't say enough about him. So I want to make sure that I introduce not only to Richmond, but to the world, because we need the world right now to pay attention to this video because these folks have put together something extremely impactful to show emphasis to why kids need to tap in. And with everything that's going on right now with virtual learning, what better way to really get the attention of your students? So I give it up to you. Thank you for being a part of the Randy Wilson podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. I want to make sure that everyone gets gets their word in here. So I'm kind of just going to move down the list. I have to start here with the principal. Well, first off, I want to start with you, Big B, real quick. Please, for the students, they know you as Mr. Butler. Please share with us part of what made you reach out to me today to get this going on, because I seen it on the internet, and please share some light with us in regard to what you was thinking.
Well, just honestly, man, I've seen your platform grow. back since first time I saw it was the Young Money Yon. And,
Yes.
I went back and, peeped most of the episodes out. So I know that you have a stand-in, podcast that just does really well. And I knew that you can get the word out, but also just, I respect you as a person. I knew this is something that I think you would have loved to cover. You love hip hop, but you also love engaging with people.
Yes.
So, I really I wanted to just hand this one to you, man. And I know you'll have a good time with it. And, if you saw the video, it deserves this love, and I knew that you would get the love that it deserves. So.
Well, man, I just want you to know that I'm extremely appreciative to you. You could have called anybody, and I still encourage that you call everybody still. I'm glad to be one of the first folks on it, but this is something that we can't be, this is something that is so important for everybody to have an opportunity to be aware of. And it takes everybody doing their part to make sure that things like this get attention. So I'm definitely, I'm going to beat the pavement. I'm going to share this with everyone I possibly know. I'm not originally from Virginia. Many people know that I'm actually from North Carolina. So a lot of my following is from other places. So I'll definitely make sure. And thank you again for thinking about me. Okay.
Most definitely.
So let's move over to the principal here, Miss Butler. How are you doing? No.
Miss Mary.
Right.
I apologize, Miss Mary. How are you doing, Miss Mary?
I am amazing. Today was the first day of school, and so we had a great day today. We all became virtual teachers overnight.
Aren't you just the coolest person in Richmond right now? Tell me, was the first day really because I live in Chesterfield and I couldn't get my son in on the system until about 11 o'clock because it crashed because there were 60,000 students trying to get on at the same time. Did y'all have any of those issues? We
didn't have any of those issues. Our students, really, we have been preparing for this day since we left on March 13th. And we have made sure that we have connected with families. We have spent every afternoon last week handing out Chromebooks and technology to make sure that they were up and ready. We have practiced. Our teachers spent the weekend practicing with each other to make sure everything was locked and loaded for the day. And we had an amazing day.
Let's make sure we shout out Richmond Public Schools because I don't think Richmond Public Schools ever gets the recognition and appreciation that it deserves. Not only that, shout out to my guy, Mark Cheatham, because he made a post the other day and it really resonated with me. In a time like now that we're dealing with so many things, we've seen some new schools built in our city this year. And, I think we got to make sure we shed light at that. So I want to shout out Mark for highlighting that. I want to shout you out, Miss Mary. I mean, I wish I had a principal like you when I was in school. I mean, that was just so cool. What alumni? Where are you alumni at, Miss Mary?
So I am a graduate of the George Wythe. I'm a Bulldog at heart.
Okay.
And so I absolutely loved school when I was in school. Mm-hmm. Music was always a part of my household. I credit my father for that. Saturday mornings, it was Joe Sample starting and Grover Washington starting us up on Saturdays mornings. So, my love of music came from there, and been singing since I was a little girl. And so, staying on beat, that was just something that we did,
I mean, we may be having a project coming soon, it sounds like. We may be having something come soon. This is just a beginning. This is a single. Is John Marshall going to put together an album? We need one of these semester.
I am already thinking about how we top this. I don't like to stay in one place. So I'm trying to figure out, how do we take this to the next level? Mr. Butler doing homecoming. We got together, and our theme for homecoming was from the show. What's the show, Butler?
Wildin' Out.
Wildin' Out. And so we kind of had groups against each other, and the assistant principal and I recorded a little promo. So if we could record a promo, and that was maybe, 2 minutes, Butler? Mm-hmm. A 2-minute promo. If we could do that, then it was like, okay, what's next? So I'm already thinking about what's next.
This is amazing. Not only we talking about what's next, but if you go back and you look at what's happened at John Marshall High School, John Marshall, in collaboration with Mad Skills Day, had an event where they also, paid homage to a community icon And I think that also is just another testament to what you guys have already been doing. This ain't something y'all just started. Like, it's in your DNA. So definitely want to give it up to you, Miss Mary. I mean, I promise you I have not ever had a principal like you. And I hope that my child has an opportunity to have a principal like you. I may have to move over in the city and use somebody's address or something to get them over there when the time comes. Let me get over to Miss Kelley. Miss Kelley, like, so I'm assuming you do this. Like, this ain't new to you. This is something that you do. This ain't your first time writing.
No, it's not. I've been making raps for my students since 2016. It was my second year teaching, and my students had an SOL test coming up, and it's a whole bunch of formulas that you needed to know for the geometry SOL. So we didn't use a beat or anything. My students were beating on the desk, and we made up a rap band. The following year I had to top that, like, just like Miss Murray, I'm always looking to top what I do. So the following year, we did a rap to, I can't think of the song, but we did a rap the following year. The next year we did Cardi B. I had a song to that. That was, all of my songs were for geometry. And then last year I did Bad and Bougie by Migos. I think that was last year. But I have 4 songs that I've written. And I just love it because the students get really engaged and it's catchy, so they remember it. One of my middle school classmates actually DM'd me on Instagram and said, "Do you remember this song you wrote in middle school Spanish class?" And I was like, "No." And she still remembers it to this day. So I literally had to text and DM some of my other classmates from middle school. And one was like, "Yeah, you always made songs." And I was like, "I have no recollection of this at all." But yeah.
You're really good though.
Thank you.
Have you ever thought about taking it more serious outside of the school setting?
No. I'm not a rapper, I'm a teacher. I love what I do.
Teachers can rap. This here though is an example. You know, what you guys are doing is you're showing your students that you can do things that interest them.
Yeah.
If it wasn't an interest that you have though, it wouldn't be in you. So I just planted that seed there because you may be able to be an example for them to show them that not only can I teach, not only can I, I can do whatever I want to do. And that's the whole goal that we have of our students, is to get them to see that you can be whatever you want to be. A lot of students want to be rappers and musicians, and that seed for them may start in the band, or it may start in the show choir. So I don't know. I'm going to share this with you, okay, Miss Kelley, about myself, okay? And I haven't shared this with a lot of people on this platform, but I grew up as a theater student, a music student, an art student, and all the way through college, okay? I played basketball in college. So when I got to college, girls were more interested in me from that standpoint than probably being a show choir kid. So then I graduated college and I got into the workforce. And I allowed my work, because I work in mental health, behavioral health, I allowed that to succumb me to be who I am. When truthfully, at core, that's just where I got an education. And it's a part of me. But I allowed my career to overpower the creative side in me. And I haven't exercised my voice as a vocalist in many, many years. And I resent that, because I thought that I was only supposed to be a mental health professional. So part of my motivation for getting into podcasting was to find my voice again. Because I do this, but when I'm not doing this, I'm still trying to find my voice with a mic. So I don't know. I think that you need to go ahead and come out to RVA Rap Elite with Big B very, very soon. They're going to be on Broad Street on the 27th. I really do. And I think Miss Mary does too. I'm not letting her off the hook either. Because she can show, not only can she show the students and they can do whatever they want to do, but to me, it's an inspiration for other administrators throughout the city to also, find other creative ways to make sure that they're, creating new examples. So I just
Can I just touch on one thing, man? Because a lot of people have been hitting me up about the video, and at the end, how Miss Mary is like, "We love you, and there's nothing you can do about it." That's not something that was just for that song. since the first day that, you know, I met Miss Murray and she was the principal of John Marshall, that was what she said every day. And everybody was just like, yo, that just resonates so well. Like, I felt like she loved me and I never met her before. So, and that's just the type of energy you get with Miss Murray. It's like, just that whole administration, it's like a loving feeling. When you walk in the building, it's like, yo, you feel loved. Even when you weren't in the building, just in staff meetings today, you feel loved, because it's not just a get to the point. It's like, how you doing? How's your day? You know, it's more than just work. It's more than just business. It's like they really care. And that's one thing I appreciate.
I believe it, man. I mean, I think it's obvious. Like I said, I've worked in schools. I worked at John Marshall many, many years ago, coming into the school. And I didn't know they had positions like interventionists in school. Like, I'm familiar with how community and schools may come into the school setting to be an intervention. But like, I think what you do, Mr. Butler, is an example right in itself that shows that the city, as well as John Marshall, cares about putting things in place for students so that they can be successful. Because I've never in my life knew that that was something. I mean, that's typically what the ninth grade principal does. You know, I remember there used to be a principal for every grade. Is that still the case? Like an assistant principal? That's not the case anymore? So you kind of fill in a role for what an administrator would do for the ninth grade students to make sure that they stay in school. So to me, that has to be a testament of the administration. You know,
I appreciate it. So,
and you also the baseball coach over there, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, we didn't lose any games last season.
Congratulations, state champs.
Nah, we didn't play any games, but we're not gonna talk about it. Yeah.
Got you. Well, hey, I wish you success in the future in regard to whatever happens with sports as it pertains to COVID. I was the worst baseball player ever in the history of baseball. I used to get up to the bat and hope I got walked. All right, hit me. Like, if I know if I got hit, I can get on base. Could never hit the ball. I always, I'd bet 8th or 9th, but I was good in the field. So, but hey, so let me ask you all, and anyone can answer this question. Let me ask you all. So we got to make this work. So how do we make this video, not only this podcast? I mean, this podcast is only a compliment to the video, but what I'm saying is, like, how can we, for our audience who's listening, how can we make sure that the masses get this video? I'm not sure if y'all been contacted by the news yet or not, but you should be, because I know that I'm gonna push this video to everyone that I possibly can. Like, this is something that everyone has to see. This is something that the governor needs to pay attention to and recognize. I just can't imagine something like this not getting the attention of anybody and everybody. What's your thoughts on that?
I would let Kelley take this one. Yeah.
So we we were on CBS 6 yesterday. Yesterday morning, I got a text from my mom. She was like, "I saw you on the news," and I'm like, "I don't even know what you're talking about." Then Miss Murray, when I text her, she turned on, I think, Channel 12, Miss Murray, and saw us there. Then we turned around. We had an article with CBS 6 that came out yesterday. We did have CBS National News reach out to us on Twitter. So Saweetie retweeted our video.
Okay.
So she sings the original Tap In. So she retweeted our video. CBS National News did reach out to us, and our superintendent gave permission for them to use the video. So I answered some questions with her via the DM last night. She told us to check the CBS this morning, but we didn't make it. She said that the story got killed. She did say she's going to push it for tomorrow. And then Channel 8 reached out to us via Facebook, and that story got killed too. They said that it's something about copyrights. So we were planning to shoot tomorrow, but they're not going to shoot us. But I just hope that everybody continues to share our video on Instagram. So we are at JM, don't forget the underscore, Justices, JUSTICES. And then that's our same tag on Twitter as well. And then on Facebook, you can find it on my personal page, which is Latonia Kelley with the EY. And we also put it on YouTube. And it's on TikTok too. So it's everywhere. We just want everyone to see it. We hope that we inspire teachers and students and just energize them for the school year. So
all those things that you just said, all those people who's paid attention to this video, but you're just a teacher, right? You're just a teacher. You listen.
And so let me jump in because I'm like with you, like she's not just a teacher. When I met her, when I hired her, I knew that it was so much more in her. And so she has really been the driving force around rebranding and our presence on social media. When I hired her, that was one of the things that I asked her to take over. And so when you log on to Facebook, especially those of us who are in the local area, I have people saying, every time I go to Instagram, all I see is John Marshall, John Marshall, John Marshall. Absolutely, and that's due to Miss Latonia Kelley. So she has so much in her that I'm going to stop her from saying, no, I'm just a teacher, because she is so much more.
Hey, let me ask you, did I hear in the song something about being Teacher of the Year?
Yes.
That's you, right?
No, I am the new Teacher of the Year. So this past year was my first year at John Marshall High School, and Miss Murray and the whole administrative team have put together a parking lot luau for us as a back to school thing. Last year she did a celebration in the gym for back to school, but we moved it outside this year. And she was doing the awards and everything, and I'm taking pictures for social media. And next thing I know, they were talking about this new Teacher of the Year, and I'm like, oh, okay, I wasn't even listening. I'm looking for my social media partner so we could take pictures together. And then they said my name, and I was just like, oh, okay.
I can see why. I can see why. Your spirit bleeds through it all. You know, yes. You're humble. You know, you're soft spoken, but you rap with fire. And Miss Mary does too. Miss Mary does too. You know, it's so impressive. I want to make sure that everyone gets a chance to see this video. I'm gonna definitely do my part. As soon as Miss Mary sends that thumbnail picture over to me, I might have this out before midnight. Who knows? Before we close, I want to play a quick little game with you three so that your students can become a little bit familiar with some things about you that you may not share at school day, okay? So I'm gonna ask 3 quick questions. I don't want you to put a lot of thought into it. Just give honest answers, okay? All right, we're gonna go backwards. I'm gonna start with you, Miss Kelley, and I'm gonna ask everybody the same question, all right? Don't want to cause no problems at home here, okay? But Miss Kelley, when you were young, like, you know, real young, you know, childhood, who was your celebrity crush?
Chris Brown.
Chris Brown. She's a baby. She's a baby. Okay. Chris Brown. Shane. I don't know how everybody's feeling about that right now, but I mean, hey, she said she was young. Okay. Big B. Mr. Butler. Who was your childhood crush growing up?
I was a big Ashanti fan, man. Ashanti was bae.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
Miss Murray.
So easy. Ralph Tresvant.
Hey, Ralph Tresvant.
Yeah, I was gonna be Miss Ralph Tresvant.
Of the whole group, you like that high-pitched soprano voice. Hey, I'm not mad at you. I'm a big New Edition fan. I'm not mad at you at all. Okay, going back to you, Miss Kelley. Let me see here. So, first off, to the group, do you watch sports? Basketball. Yes. Are y'all watching the playoffs right now?
Yes.
You're not, Miss Kelley? You're not paying attention at all. All right. Well, okay. Who's your favorite rapper, Miss Kelley?
Who's my favorite rapper? Big Sean.
Big Sean. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Mr. Butler?
Come on, man. Jay-Z. Easily.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Miss Murray?
Salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper. So did you like salt, pepper, or Spinderella? Which one did you like the most?
Actually, salt.
Okay. You know what? Somebody else, I interviewed, it was Joey Gallo. We were talking a few weeks ago, and he said the same thing. I think he even remembered seeing her in Chesterfield Town Center. I think I got a story on record when Salt and Pepper came through Richmond. So
shout out to Gallo.
So last question here, okay? Because everybody in this modern day is on some like specialized eating regimen. So are you like are you Miss Kelley, are you on some chicken? Do you eat chicken and fish? Do you eat pork? Are you a vegan? Are you vegetarian? Like, are you doing anything right now to like better yourself? Are you still eating bacon, collard greens, chitlins, and hog maws every day? What are you doing?
I try to eat healthier. I try to get more fruits and veggies. I like to make smoothies.
Okay.
No beef, not a lot of pork.
Okay. Not a lot of pork, but you're still gonna get bacon on that cheeseburger every now and then.
If I want a burger, if I do get a burger, it has to have bacon on it. That's
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Big B, work with her, okay? You've changed your life, man. So I'm really interested in what you got going on.
Yeah, so I do the keto and the intermittent fasting.
Okay.
So I used to do this 5-week challenge where I would fast, 1 day out of the week, and then, you would pick one meal a day to eat. But now I just do the intermittent fast, and I don't eat from 1 to 7. I only eat from 1 to 7, and I try to only eat one meal a day.
Okay.
And it really,
it's working,
honestly,
man.
I feel better than I felt, a long time. So.
Man, you look great, man. I mean, whatever you're doing is working, man. I think if anything, you're providing a model and example for folks to show them that you can do another example. You can do whatever you want to do, man. So I'm really proud of you, man.
Appreciate that.
Miss Murray, for some reason, I feel like you ain't having none of that stuff. You still doing what you want to do, ain't you?
I don't have the time to even think about it. So it's when I have time to eat, it's whatever at this point.
Well, it's like Miss Murray, you made examples that you can do whatever you want to do. So we know that you can, okay? But you look great regardless, so it doesn't matter. Whatever you're doing is working too. Look, closing words. Anybody have any closing words?
I also want to tell you the story though.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I don't want to leave without it. So I, recorded at the school on Thursday, and I hit up Mike Millions. Mike. Mm-hmm. Mike does all the mixing and mastering. Most of the mixing and mastering is either Mike or OZ or no, it's But I hit up Mike. I was like, Mike, I can mix it, but it ain't gonna sound as good as if you mix it. I need you to master it because we're trying to take this place. He's like, I got you, no doubt. Mike is I got you, no doubt. I got you. So I sent it over to him the same day we finished recording. He sends it back to me. He sends it back with this long email though, and he's just like, yo, your principal's dope, man. I like how she says, that I love you at the end. That, oh yeah, also Cole here. And Cole said that used to be her teacher. And he was like, yo. He was like, yo, she said she got bars. And like, it was just one of those cool things. And so I then messaged Cole on Instagram. She's like, oh, I done already video chatted Miss Murray. So they had a little conversation, but I thought that was real cool that
is super cool.
All these years down the line, Miss Murray still has students that, look up to her and still cheer for her and root for her. So I think that's dope.
That's super cool. I thought, like I said, Miss Kelley, I thought it was Cole for a minute, just because of the hair and the
she
way
had a
you
swag.
rap.
She came out with a swag, right? Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't just say stuff to say it. Like, I mean, honestly, this was the most inspiring, heartfelt thing I think I saw on the internet in a long time. And it's not, in a time like this, things stand out, like that. So I just want to give it up to you all. Miss Murray, Miss Kelley, I'm sorry.
I do have one more thing I want to say.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple things. So I do want to shout out my student Kyla. She was the student that gave me the suggestion to remix Tap In.
Kyla James,
that's my girl. Dreamy Genius, he did our video for us, and it exceeded my expectations. I don't even know what I expected, but he definitely brought the vision to life. And then I just want to publicly say thank you to Miss Murray, because when I came to her with the idea, I called her and I said, Miss Murray, can I use the gym? And she said, yeah. I said, oh, okay. She said, what'd you think I was going to say? And literally from there, even before that, anything I've asked of Miss Murray, she has just said yes to and just let me go with it and just trusted that, I'd bring it to life. So just thank you, Miss Murray, because if you didn't pour into me, this wouldn't even happen.
Wow, special when you have the impact you have on your teachers, Miss Mary. I can only imagine the impact that you have on your students.
Listen, I just know that God gave me this gift and this opportunity, and so with everything I pray that I'm doing what He has asked me to do, and it was my goal. This is my first year as principal, at John Marshall. So it was my goal to create an atmosphere that we were going to be the specialty school that didn't require an application. Like everybody wants to be at John Marshall. That was my goal.
Wow.
And so we are really excited about, what is happening and excited about this year, because I really think that this is the shift in education that we need. Mm-hmm. We need to provide education that is beneficial and that fits all.
I can't hear.
You went out, Miss Murray?
We lost her for a second. Miss Murray? We had a little audio thing here. Well, I'll tell you guys what, because we're out of time here. We appreciate everyone for tuning in to the Randy Wilson podcast, Emergency podcast, Celebratory podcast. We're going to probably put this out within less than 24 hours. Make sure if you're listening that you tune in and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button at the bottom. That's what makes things like what I'm doing, what John Marshall here is doing, work. You got to hit the subscribe button. Tell someone to tell someone. You can also follow the Randy Wilson podcast on Instagram. I'm on all podcast channels, but I encourage you to go to YouTube. This podcast will be released everywhere that podcasts are played except SoundCloud. I don't know why. For some reason, they don't rock with me like that. But Spotify, Libsyn, Stitcher, Google Play, Apple, all those places you can find this podcast. You can also learn more about the Randy Wilson podcast at randywilsonpodcast.com. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in, and good night.